Hello, welcome, good afternoon.
Good
Today
afternoon.
we have Dave and we have Beverley. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, I've
So
gone.
We've brought Beverley on today to come and tell us. You've been working with us for how long now, Beverley?
It's a year.
Okay, a year. So you've come to talk to us
June.
about your experience of working with us and what you've managed to achieve, because you have done so much and it's been amazing to see how you've progressed over that year. So tell us a little bit about like your background story. Where did you start?
I've worked mainly in retail of some sort all my life. Now at John Lewis. About 4 years ago, I had a lot to change in life, and I got a bit in a rut, very down, didn't know quite where to go, felt a bit lost. Then I had my daughter got married and gave me a beautiful granddaughter, and really made me feel I got to do something. I've got to kickstart myself again. Because if I didn't, would I still be around when she grew up? Yeah, and I felt that I needed to get some motivation to do something. And for some peculiar reason, I chose exercise, thinking it would give me energy, give me more energy, or kind of channel my energy and stuff to where I wanted it to go.
And how did you used to feel about exercise back then?
I tried it a couple of times and went to the normal kind of big gyms and everything. The introduction was always lovely. People were very good. And then suddenly you get lost in the system. You don't exist because you weren't the stereotype that they're looking for.
Yeah.
They were looking for someone who would be like a bit more muscle bound, who could run on a treadmill forever and walk off as if they were perfect. They used to say hello, but you felt that they were only saying it to be polite rather than finding out what you needed or what you wanted out, whatever you were doing. That's why I did try gym. It's a bit smaller, and I did find it kind of suited my way of life. And that's where I met Dave.
That is where you met the lovely Dave, who seems to have vanished, but I'm sure he'll be back at some point. So tell us about the aches and pains. What did you used to have? What did that stop you from doing?
I didn't so much have pain as if I knew my posture was very bad. And I would get like lower back pain and shoulder ache. But then I felt that was because where I sat at a desk a lot, because I moved from quite an active work area into more desk bound. And I was finding that was a bit more uncomfortable. And just going to talk to Dave, he said, yeah, we could see that my shoulders were bent, kind of curving, and where the posture was wrong. And you look at yourself thinking, oh, I've never really looked at that. I just kind of walked. I just sat how I sat. Now I'm very conscious that when I'm sitting on a chair, not to kind of curve over your shoulders while you're sitting at the desk. Try and sit more upright. Hold yourself in. When you're standing, don't slouch. Stand up. Get all the muscles engaged while you're.
And I wonder how many people have just sat up nice and straight as they're watching this program.
It makes you very conscious when you have something that you suddenly bring it to your attention. It does make you more conscious. I know that when I'm walking, I suddenly I have a habit of looking down when I walk. So I suddenly I look like you're doing it again, and I tell myself and as soon as I look up, my whole body goes up. So it does show that if you looked up, look ahead, your body will straighten up.
Yeah. And how has changing your posture affected what you're able to do or your lifestyle?
I do find, through exercises that I've done and everything now, I can stand straighter and I feel better in myself. I can do a lot more exercises than I'd ever dreamt. I've strengthened my core muscles and everything. You know, to sort of doing a plank when I first started would have been absolute hell. Now
and
I
you're
do
good at those now.
I'm fine. I look really good. I don't know. I'm not fighting, and I have up and down days. Like today, my legs were really aching after boot camp, and I thought, no, just stretch it out, carry on, and you'll get through it. And I feel better now for doing like some Pilates this morning and stuff.
Brilliant. So, how do you feel about exercise now?
It seems silly how people say, oh, you'll enjoy it, and then you all go to stuff. No, I won't. But you do. You learn to. It's not enjoy it, and it's not a pleasure. It's like it just gives you that energy buzz. You know, it's like I must admit, I love exercising in the morning. If I have an exercise class in the morning, it seems to set you up for the whole day. Yeah, you get this sudden burst of energy, and it just keeps going. So long as you keep that feeling, you can go on all day and you feel great. You know, and I think that's what
absolutely.
People
so that you've had quite a You've had quite a mindset change then between where you were a year ago to where you are now, even when it comes to just thinking about exercise and what you can do.
Yeah. I suddenly, when you're young and you're full of all this confidence and the world couldn't make a dent in you, and as you kind of go through, you do get dents, you get battered occasionally, and I feel I've now got back some of that confidence, some of that motivation, and it's just finding the right thing for you, and in my case it was Pilates, and actually talking to someone who could explain and help you think about things maybe in a slightly different way. You know, don't face something straight on sometimes, just kind of go around the corner, it might be easier.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. Lots of people do try and push themselves a lot too hard because they're so used to being told to do too much. When you're joining classes and stuff and you want to keep up with everybody else and you're kind of comparing yourself, and if you're someone who, like yourself, you're very driven, you just want to do the best you possibly can. But sometimes that can actually push you a little bit too hard and maybe you're not quite just ready for that. And I remember when you first started, we really took you back to basics of those stretches and the core exercises, and we've built you up and you've worked really hard at developing that strength in all of those strong movements.
Yeah, and I think doing that, because that kind of builds your confidence, that you feel that, you know, these little steps are actually big steps to you and you don't even realize you're doing them, and helps. You know, I was very lucky. I haven't had much pain. My posture was wrong, and I didn't have what I didn't have is drive, and now I do. You know, everything I do, it's like if I don't do it to the best of my ability, you know, I'm not putting myself into it.
Okay.
But you do have days. Yeah.
You think you have more drive now than you did a year ago?
Yes. Yeah.
And has that come from the change of the exercises and nutrition?
I think because it made me think about what I was eating. Some of it because I used to be a picker, you know that the same.
Yeah.
You know, pickers wear bigger knickers. Well, that was what was happening. You know, I was slightly putting on a lot more weight, and I think because it goes on gradually, you don't always feel you notice it until you start putting the clothes on and you say, I can't do the button up anymore. I am not going up another size. You know.
Yeah.
So actually, I've gone down a size. Really pleased with that. Things fit me better. So by nutrition, exercise, it all helps. Yeah.
And how has that changed your lifestyle away from the gym?
Actually, I love it. I don't feel that I'm tired all the time. I must admit, occasionally I still have an afternoon nap, but I start very early in the morning, so sometimes I need it. My sleep is very up and down, but I do have a lot more energy, as in I go for long walks, I will play with my grandchildren, not so much at the moment, but we're getting there. So yeah, I feel like I've got more energy to do things.
That was a massive thing, wasn't it, for you to be able to play around with your grandchildren and keep up with them as they kind of run around?
Yeah, I mean, they're one's only 1 and the other one's 18 months. And but even at that age, they're on the go all the time. To them, up in the morning, bedtime. The bit in the middle is let's have fun.
Yeah, definitely. And were you struggling with that before?
I noticed in myself I was struggling just to do normal things, as in, it was like everything was a chore. And I thought, as soon as my first granddaughter came along, I thought, I can't be a granny that sits in the corner, that they come in and say, hello, nanny, kiss, and then run off because they want to go and play in the garden. And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, yeah, that's not me.
No, definitely. You would like to get involved in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see. And what's your next goal, Beverley? Because I absolutely love this, because this is a goal that you probably last year never even thought that you'd be able to even try and achieve. And now it's just become so much more achievable for you.
Yeah, right. My daughter used to be a bit of a runner. She's run a couple of marathons and stuff. Hasn't run for years, and she took running up again. And I thought I'd love to be able to run with her. So I've decided I'm going to try and do a 5K. She thinks it's great. She's already said, yep, come out running with her and Max in the pushchair. She'll push Max in the pushchair and I can run along with them. I said, yes, as long as we take it at an easy pace. So hopefully.
And what were your thoughts?
Sorry?
Say that again. Hopefully by when?
Oh, hopefully by kind of September time, I can actually go off and run a reasonable distance with her. I want to. I'd love to do a race, but at the moment nothing's on. Cancelled. But that's my turn to get one medal at least. One.
Okay. That's a great goal. What were your thoughts on running a year ago?
I'd probably look at it and think, nah, not for me. Because I always feel that I run kind of lopsided. I'm like heavier on one side or on the other. But now thinking about it, does it really matter with the exercises? I must be balancing myself up a bit, especially with balance exercises, strengthening the legs and stuff. And I suppose the more I do it, the easier or the more stamina I build up that will aid me in doing what I want to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that we've worked, both myself and Dave worked with you to kind of help build up a lot of that balance, work with you on that core stability, and just help you to get a bit more confidence in your own body.
Yeah.
And we've certainly seen that change last year.
Sorry?
We've seen a big change in you. I was saying it's a big change in you over this year, yeah.
Yeah, a very, very big change. And I know it, I can feel it in lots of different ways, as in not just my body, I can feel it in myself as a person. When I'm with a group now, I used to be the one that sat in the corner and shut up and didn't say anything. I've got that more confidence. So if I think something is right or I need to say something, say it.
I don't believe you used to be the quiet one.
I was, yeah. I'd be the one, the person who sits in the kitchen and does all the washing up and does all that. That was me. I would go around, pick up all the glasses, wash up for someone. Don't matter whose house it was at, I'd be the person taking all the rubbish, tidying up all the dishes, as if I wasn't even in the room.
No, and it's amazing to see you've built so much confidence, and you can see your personality is starting to shine even now. Like, I'm sure the people watching can see that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. What have you enjoyed about training with myself and Dave?
I think it's just the way you look at each person individually. We're not a group. We are a group, but we're also individuals. So you will try and plan things to encourage that one person to get on, do the best they can. but you do it all the time with fun, making everything enjoyable. Even when you're pushing us and we really would like to string you up, you still say, smile, you're enjoying this. And we all smile though, don't we?
We want to see smiles when we train. No, definitely. And
So
it
which
is
is good.
all about enjoyment. Whilst you're pushing yourself, you're getting all these health benefits, you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't enjoy it. So the more we can make you laugh, make you think about other things, take your mind off the activity that you're doing, the more like you
Yeah.
enjoy it, you come back. And if you're staying consistent as much as you have, then that's really when you're going to start to see those changes. And you have, which is amazing.
I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. I made that first phone call, even though it was like, but you know, if I hadn't gone to E-Gym to start with, and started there, and then started talking to the girls, and then meeting Dave and you, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. I'd probably still be kind of very overweight, very sluggish, fed up with my whole life type of thing. And really, the only person who was doing that was myself. And by making those first little steps has really helped.
Yeah, and all we've done really is just giving you the guidance to know what to do, when to do it, and how much to do for yourself, so that you don't have to rely on it for the rest of your life. You have this now. This is inbuilt now.
Yes, yeah, and I know. I mean, doing that, the daily check on how you're feeling, actually does really help you, because if you check and you think, oh, actually, I'm having a really bad day here, but I do want to do classes, but maybe do the next one down, or even the next one down if you feel that bad about it. You know, so you're still exercising, you're still getting your body moving, you're still maybe putting a bit of a sweat on, so you feel like you've done something, but you haven't actually pushed yourself, so you're a total wreck, and then find the next day you can't do anything.
Yeah, and that score is great to give you the power to decide for yourself what is right for you, so that you learn like to listen to your body, and to make sure that you're continuing to feel better and happier and healthier.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the most one of the very useful things I've got in the last couple of days, because I never really I just thought, oh, exercise, do the hardest one, and then now I realise I don't have to do the hardest one. If I'm not feeling up to it, why not do a press up on the wall? You know, if you if you're feeling brilliant, do the press up on do a full press up if that's what you feel like you can do. But you know, don't compete against everybody else. You just need to compete against yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you say there are people who are going to be 5 times fitter than you, who can do all these things and make them look really, really easy. But that's not you. You need to do what's right for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that. I'm really excited to see now you're getting into your running and doing your 5K. So we'll get you back on once you've done your 5K. You can tell us about your experience.
Okay, then. Fine. I'll
Brilliant.
take
Thank you
photos.
so much. Yeah, thank you so
then.
much, Beverley, for joining us today. It's lovely to share your story, and it's been great to have you. So we've loved training
Thank you very much.
We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for watching.